This video is a 14-minute version of an hour-long celebration of the birthdays of Social Security and Medicare. It was sponsored by CARA, the California Alliance of Retired Americans. If you want to get useful information from some clued-in people, keep watching this video. On Tuesday, July 30, 2024, the California Alliance of Retired Americans, CARA, celebrated the 89th birthday of Social Security and the 59th birthday of Medicare and Medicaid. California's version of Medicaid is Medi-Cal. CARA held this celebration at the Speaker Nancy Pelosi San Francisco Federal Building, 97th Street at Mission Street. Happy 59th birthday, Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security. From the California Alliance of Retired Americans, CARA made you a cake. Here are brief summaries of presentations by the 10 speakers and the observations of 3 attendees. Meet Art Persico, the co-convener of CARA's Community Action Team, or CAT. Art helped organize this event.
My name is Art Persico. I'm one of the organizers for California Alliance for Retired Americans. CARA is the acronym. We're going to celebrate the birthday of Medicare and Social Security, and we'll have some speakers, some music, some chants, and some cupcakes. Okay. So thanks for being here.
Meet Henny Kelly. In her role as CARA Vice President, Henny Kelly connects with many organizations and people. Henny Kelly is the Legislative Committee Chair of the California Democratic Party, Executive Delegate to the California Democratic Party, California Democratic Party Region Director, retired member of the American Federation of Teachers and the California Federation of Teachers, and the Sergeant at Arms at the San Francisco Labor Council. The California Federation of Teachers, in its affiliation with the American Federation of Teachers and the AFL-CIO, represents more than 120,000 educational employees. Henny Kelly, CARA Vice President.
We are celebrating 2 things that are so important to seniors, people with disabilities, and our families yet to come. I think that the 2 things that are the most important to me at my age, Social Security and Medicare. But I also realize that my grandchildren, who are only 13, may not have that when they grow up. My generation did better than my father and mother. My children are not doing as well as we are, and I fear for my grandchildren. So I am always here to fight, and we have to keep fighting for these important things, Social Security and Medicare.
Tina Martin.
I'm the liaison between CARA and the AFT 2121 retiree chapter at City College. I'm concerned about Medicare and Social Security, keeping it, protecting it against other forces. Back at the formation of these 2 wonderful programs, Republicans were against them. They said it was socialism. I'm really glad that we were able to get them passed anyway, and part of our lives and part of our survival and retirement.
Ann Colachides, Gray Panthers gerontologist.
As a gerontologist, I understand some things about Social Security that many don't know. That single Social Security check that a recipient might be getting sometimes supports a whole family as the only reliable check that comes into that household. Many people rely on Social Security, whether they're direct recipients or not. This program is so important to the economic stability of our country.
Hallie Hammer Singer.
Hallie Hammer from Berkeley. Follow me. Health care for you and me. Co-pay free with a choice of providers. Eyes and teeth, don't want to lose them. Local clinics, I want to use them. Say goodbye to costs that soar sky high. Middlemen, we'll do better without them. support. You won't get sold short with Medicare for you and me.
Kim Tavallone, Executive Director of the San Francisco Labor Council.
Our society depends deeply on safety nets. The greatest safety net of all time was Social Security and Medicare. These two programs save people. Many, many, many Americans throughout the country live solely on Social Security and Medicare. You know, there's a lot of things that seniors do without while they're retired. It is sad that we throw our seniors away and we don't make sure that they have what they need to live on. We need to protect Social Security and Medicare. We need to expand it, and we need to make sure that it is there for future generations like mine. I hope to retire someday.
Harry Breaux.
I just wanted to introduce our longtime member at SCA, Harry Breaux.
Next March, I'm going to turn 80 years old. At 51 years of age, I dropped down with 3 diseases from AIDS. And for that time, and since then, I've not been able to work a full job. I do have a part-time job, but without Social Security benefits, which were given to me then, I would not be able to survive in this city. Half of my income from Social Security goes to my rent, and that's reduced rent for seniors. Those like me who did survive the AIDS years and are living on Social Security appreciate the benefits that it has given us, and we would like to see it continue well into the future for those who will come behind us, because HIV and aging is a new reality. So please support Social Security and deny anything that wants to hamper it from passing along to future generations.
Corey Powell McCoy, District Director for Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi, Speaker Emerita.
59 years ago, the United States fundamentally transformed the way we care for the most vulnerable members of our society. In the decades since President Johnson signed Medicare and Medicaid into law, they have stood as pillars of health, security, and justice for generations of Americans. Speaker Emerita Pelosi and House Democrats continue to fight for greater access to quality, affordable health care. Through the Affordable Care Act, Democrats have expanded Medicaid coverage to tens of millions of Americans who may not otherwise afford health care. And with the Inflation Reduction Act, Medicare is now empowered to negotiate the price of prescription drugs, a longtime priority of the Speaker Emerita and House Democrats. Realizing the bedrock promise of Medicare and Medicaid, that health care is a right, not a privilege.
Michael Lyon, Gray Panthers.
The 1935 Social Security Act was drafted in the halls of Congress, and it was signed in the White House. But the real driving force behind it was class struggle in the factories and the streets. Thousands of strikes against major industries, fighting off cops and deputies to prevent evictions. 70% of the attempted evictions in New York City failed in 1932 because we defended against them. Hundreds of marches and riots demanding food and housing, and 20,000 World War I vets marching on Washington demanding their bonuses. And in 1965, when the bosses finally coughed up Medicare and Medicaid that we had been trying for decades to be passed in Congress, it did pass, but only because workers and students and soldiers were threatening to tear the whole house down. There was a huge strike wave. There were urban rebellions of blacks and Latins in city after city. There were campus rebellions against racism. There was a civil rights movement that morphed into black power. There were massive draft refusals, and there was mutiny in the military that ground the Vietnam War to a halt. Working people forced these programs into existence. These programs expand or contract. When we're strong, they cover more people with better benefits. When we're not strong, they get cut.
Anna Malino, MD, Physicians for a National Health Plan. As you listen to Dr. Malinow, remember what Henny Kelly said.
Something about Nancy. She knows how to count the votes.
My name is Anna Malinow. I'm a retired pediatrician, one of the lead organizers for the movement to end privatization of Medicare. I represent about 75 people in the movement, so please make space for the 75 people that I'm representing. So we're going to have to squeeze in a little bit. How many people does Senior Disability Action represent? Hundreds! Please make space for hundreds more people here. How many people does the Grey Panthers represent? More hundreds! More people! Squeeze! Make space for everybody here. How many people does the California Alliance for Retired Americans represent?
Over 1 million, and we represent the other organizations because we have over 375 organizations that work with us.
We're going to have to really squeeze in here because we got to fit 1 million CARA members right in the square. We're so happy to be here in front of Congresswoman Pelosi's office celebrating Medicare's 59th birthday. Congresswoman Pelosi, can you see the millions of people here? Can you hear us? Yes. We're here to demand 3 things. Number 1, you have got to protect Medicare from being privatized and sold to Wall Street. You have got to protect seniors and people with disabilities from being scammed and denied by the Medicare disadvantage plans. 3, protect public retirees from being swindled from their promised benefits and being forced into Medicare disadvantage plans. One more thing, improve and expand Medicare for everybody because we know healthcare is a human right. Healthcare must be free from profit. Medicare must be for everyone. Everybody in, nobody out.
Howard Edgerman, American Federation of Government Employees and union representative for all the Social Security employees in San Francisco.
We have 3 offices. This office, the one in Chinatown, 1001 Valencia Street in the Mission. We used to have a lot more offices. We had the Inner Mission, the Outer Mission, Western Addition, and Parkside. Because of cuts, these offices were closed. It's important to join with us to get a budget that provides for Social Security employees. Right now, we have the lowest number of employees in 27 years. So this office here has the same number of employees in the office on Curry Street in Chinatown. What is happening in all Social Security office is work sharing. People in Chinatown who are used to dealing with people in their community are having to deal with issues and cases from downtown San Francisco. We don't have enough people to do the work. AFGE is the largest non-postal federal union in the AFL-CIO. We take the claims, we answer the phones, we do the best we can in limited circumstances, but we need help in order to ensure that we have adequate budget to do our work. People need individuals like us to assist them in dealing with issues such as disability, retirement, dealing with a survivor situation. So please ask for adequate staffing for Social Security, and remember, Social Security employees are just like you. I'm a member of CARA, but I'm not retired, I'm just tired. So maybe eventually I'll have the R-E in front of tired.
And finally, goodbye from Carol Harvey, videographer.